to make your day a little bit easier while playing Escape from Tarkov. Because we all know this game is unforgiving. It punishes you for every single little mistake you make. And then you get frustrated. You lose everything. Oh, somebody got my stuff, it says. Got my RD back, though. All right, so first things first, if you're having issues with your frame rate while playing the game, you have a lower end graphics card like me, um, and you like to play the game, but you can't sometimes because you turn on DLSS and then your optic looks like ass if you're using a variable zoom. The one times looks disgustingly bad. So you can't really use that. So you're stuck with like a red dot. And that's frustrating because you don't have anything to zoom in with. Like you can't see far away, you can't see up close. So you're kind of stuck, you know? All right. So when that happens, what you do is you go into your graphics, right? You turn I play on a 1440p monitor. So my native resolution is this. Or actually eek. It's this. 16 by 9, 1440. So you scale your resolution down to the next best resolution, which is 1080p. And then you're going to go into your NVIDIA control panel if you're using a NVIDIA card. After you get to your NVIDIA control panel, you're going to go to Manage 3D Settings. You're going to go to either Program or Global Settings, whichever you prefer. If you want to use this in another game, use Global. If not, use Program. And if you go to Program Settings, you're going to need to find the Escape from Tarkov .exe and modify it there. You're going to go down to Image Scaling, and you're going to turn it on. And I like to play at a 10% sharpness. It'll have a little slider on the bottom that allows you to kind of tweak the sharpness. You have check the box that says overlay indicator as well. When you do that, you have to have your game in full screen mode. If you put it in borderless mode, you see how this turned blue up here, the NIS, NVIDIA image scaling? That means it's there, but it's not working. So when you're in full screen, it's working. Everything looks like it's low-end 1440p. What this allows you to do is it allows you to play on a higher LOD so you can see things farther away. That's what LOD does. Your texture quality you can play on high. Your shadows I like to play on medium. I don't really see a need to go any higher. Overall visibility, I play maps like woods, shoreline, lighthouse, so 2000 is a good one for me. I use TAA high for anti-aliasing. Don't use these. Don't use these because I don't care about the water being reflective and I don't care about the horizon being pretty. Play on 0.7 sharpness. When I take a painkiller, this is kind of a little absurd, so sometimes I like to turn it down to like 0.4, 0.5. I don't use high quality colors, Ziebler, grass shadows, chrome aberrations, MIP streaming, or noise. You do have the option to use MIP streaming if you have over 16 gigabytes of RAM. I would recommend 32 or higher. I have 48, and I used to use MIP streaming without using image scaling. I didn't quite get the same frame rate that I normally get with image scaling, but it was an improvement over DLSS for sure. And your game, it should be on an SSD if you're going to use MIP streaming because you have this MIP streaming disk usage limit, right? And that is essentially the speed, quote unquote, of how MIP streaming is going to pull the data from your SSD or NVMe onto your screen, right? So what it does is it loads in the close textures first, and then it'll wait a second and load in the higher quality textures or the more detailed textures. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it doesn't work very well, but it will increase your frame rate if you're having issues with frames. So if you're in a raid and you hear an airdrop coming and it's super loud, we all know airdrops are fucking annoying. What you can do is just take your hearing pro off. You see how everything just got quiet? It'll do the same thing on an airdrop. The only bad thing is you're not going to be able to hear as well around you, but if you have these on, you can't hear anything anyway, and the airdrop's right overhead. You can't hear footsteps, you can't hear ADS, you can't hear switching tactical devices, switching zoom, anything like that. You can't hear it. So regardless, if you don't want to go deaf, just take that off. Especially if you're playing with a friend or something and you're in Discord or you're in another chat service and you're just trying to talk, like, you can't hear anything when there's an airdrop overhead. On a workaround for that. What else is there? Settings. Yeah, settings. So I use NVIDIA graphics cards. I don't use AMD, so I don't know how this would work for AMD, but I do not use post effects. The only time I'll use post effects is when I'm using night vision, so I can make it gray. It's a lot easier to see for me. It doesn't hurt my eyes as much. It might not work the same for you, but if you want to make your night vision gray, this is how you do it. I think we'll be able to see it in the hideout. Hold on. Let's see. No. If you are using this MP153, this video is going to be really random. All right, so we know the ergo is not the greatest on these. You should primarily probably focus on ergo. Getting the largest size magazine you can helps out a lot. So the 8-round magazine, right? I have the MP133 8-shell magazine, but this is an MP153 shotgun. The reason why I do that is that if you look at the MP153, it's 4 less ergo. I mean, that's not much, but it matters. These are also cheaper from the trader. So, little things. It's the little things. They add up. So the night vision, even without night vision, you can see pretty well in factory anyway. I know it's not like this on all maps, but you don't get as much random film grain. It's not as painful on the eyes to look at least for me anyway. So this concludes our tips and tricks video. If you would like to see more or something different, comment on this video, let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate your needs so you can get good at this game, or better, I should say, because we all know you're a god